What a game last night, huh?
Yeah, man. I figured it would go to Brady though. The running
Yeah,
and Kansas City can't stop the run, man.
they can't. Once they started running on them, it was pretty well
Done.
under control. And Kansas City just had they lost those two offensive linemen, and that was tough on them too. So,
Sure.
but Kansas City's big deal is they think they can score 50 points on everybody, and sometimes you can't. So,
Especially when the other team knows their weakness. Running the ball the whole season, it was like that.
yeah, and their defense was ranked 16th for a reason. So Brady he knows how to win them.
For sure, man. Hey,
He's a beast.
you think Kansas City will be back?
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean, they don't need a lot. You know what I mean? They need some defensive help, but offensively, if they keep all those guys on offense, they're talented.
they don't have the cap space, man.
Yeah, they're going to have to rearrange. I would really see I would see Mahomes rearranging some of his salary.
It ain't gonna happen. You know how how it is now. All these
Well,
players want the money, man.
yeah, he had made a statement though that he didn't want to outprice keeping, the team core.
Sure.
So you would think that he could rearrange it to pay him out over 20 years instead of 10 years.
Ah, that's
But if it was my $50 million, I'd say too bad.
hey, he's probably gonna do the same thing. And they're gonna be in some worse of shape if that contract stays the way it is. I think it was his 30 when he turns 31. It's like 60 million gets the cap,
Yeah.
and that's not
But
gonna fly, man.
but the cap goes up every year, and now it may balance out now that they don't have fans,
Yeah,
and their viewership's down 7%.
for sure.
The
The
it's
COVID situation really affected the NFL.
bad. Yeah,
Really,
and I'm so glad I'm glad I'm not playing right now. I feel bad for those guys.
for sure. That's
So
what happened to my team, man. A lot of them opted out. I'm a Patriot fan, so we'll
yeah,
we'll be back next year. We got,
we'll see.
what,
What are they going to do? What are they going to do at quarterback?
we're gonna draft somebody. Hey, on the cheap, man. You know the rookie contract
Yeah,
always cheaper than a guy off the street. So
yeah. We'll be interested to see who they get. I'll be interested to see.
you never know, man. You
I
never.
really think Brady should have stayed there for another 3 or 4 years, and they should have left him alone.
Ah,
And
water under the
I can't,
bridge, man.
I just can't believe they let him. I can't believe he got away, though. You know what I mean?
You and me both.
Especially because he was still in. He still plays quality football. It ain't like he's washed up.
For sure. You got to remember all the talent around him too.
Hmm.
That makes a quarterback.
Yeah, it does.
Nobody, the average
But
fan can say that too. So
but I look at my era, which was the best era ever in the NFL.
for sure,
The 80s and 90s was the best for football, period. You had quarterbacks like Aikman and Namath and those guys. They played with great talent. But when they lost a running back or they lost a wide receiver, they still showed up and said, we're going to win this thing. Get in the huddle and let's play. These quarterbacks today, you think you got to surround them with, Brady played with wide receivers nobody in the country ever heard about.
for sure.
Until their second year in the NFL, they say, where'd that little dude come from? You know what I mean? And he's catching 100 balls a year but he could win with whatever he had. And for him to win it the Patriot way and then go to Tampa Bay and win it that way, and to beat the teams that they had to beat in the playoffs, all of them on the road.
Definitely, man.
It's a big accomplishment. He's a beast.
For sure. 7 Super Bowls, man.
That's retarded, isn't it? I'm just glad I went to 1. That dude's been to 10.
Hey, it's hard to get there, man. It's hard to get
Hard. It's hard. Especially in my time, it was hard.
Just describe how hard it was to get to a Super Bowl.
Well, it's just being consistent every week and having everybody. The biggest key to doing it is everybody has to stay healthy. You can't lose any of your starters really. Everybody's just got to stay focused, and that was the thing about Coach Gibbs is we only talked about the Super Bowl one day, and that was the first day of training camp. Was the only time the word was ever mentioned. And but you got to stay healthy. You got to stay together. You got to get in bed and get your rest and not run the streets and act crazy. And I mean, it just takes all 45 guys wanting to do the same exact thing.
Yes, sir.
But not losing a starter is key. I mean, you can't lose your starting offensive tackles and go compete against quality defenses, especially the ones when Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks and Reggie White and them were playing. They would eat you up, and you just couldn't win. And so everybody had to stay healthy, and that was the key. It was a long year. It's a lot of pressure. You know, during the season is not near as bad, but boy, once you go them playoff games, man, it's pressure's on. You know, you only got one shot. If you win, you're good. If not, you're out.
For sure.
And but it's staying healthy, staying focused on what the team needs to accomplish, and those are the two biggest things that it takes. And it's a grind, though. I mean, it's a lot of football, you know, to make it that far. It's a long season.